Robalicious,
What up?
what are you doing?
I am looking at photos for inspiration.
That's a
Dodge Dakota
Dodge Dakota.
with a solid axle in it. Isn't that cool? So hear me out. Come on, let's go. I gotta get my tape measure. Come on. Huh? Huh? Got a Dodge Dakota. Let's put a solid axle in this thing. We're actually, we're gonna do a little more than that. We're gonna put an LS in it, 6.2. We're gonna put a Turbo 400 in that. An Atlas transfer case. We're gonna put a 14 bolt in the rear, Dana 60 up front, and run 40-inch tires on this thing.
What?
So,
Okay.
we're still a little ways out. We're waiting on parts, so I'm just kind of getting the preliminary plan together for how it's all going to work out. That way, once we start gathering parts, we can get it in the shop and get it tore down and start getting it built. It's going to be on ORIs. Did I mention ORIs? 14-inch ORIs as well.
Oh.
So this is going to be,
Them Oris.
you guys, you know how we do the super builds on the Jeeps? It's going to be like a super built Dakota. I'm pretty pumped about it. It's very different than our norm. It's not a Jeep, but I'm excited for a little bit of a different project to see, to show you guys what we can do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get some measurements of the frame and make sure that the ideas that are in my little brain will work. So if I can get up here, it's kind of wet. 9.5 inches. Okay. So I think we're gonna do fusion axles. We'll do a Dana 60. Probably a 72-inch wide setup, front and rear. We'll probably end up doing some like different fenders to help with tire clearance. I think the rear we can make a 40 fit pretty easily. Idea is to keep it real low to the ground, but still usable suspension. He's gonna want to drive this thing to the trails, go beat on it, and then drive it home. So it's gonna be a fun project.
Yeah.
There's the motor. It's used, but we're gonna go through and make sure it's all good. We're putting a new Turbo 400 in it. I think I already said that, so don't worry about that again. It's gonna be fun. I need to measure this one. Yeah, I think that'll work fine. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, sir. What else you want me to do?
Oh, wrong way. Sorry. No, you're good. So fusion axles. Tell me that process. What are we looking for?
So basically,
Because there's different versions. There's
yeah.
different
So
options.
we prefer fusion. We like their quality, and so what we can do is we get to go in and we can pick what width we want. You know, so we're gonna do 72 on this one, but we can do custom width. We go all the way down to 63 inches. We can choose what knuckles we want to run. We can choose where we want the pumpkin to be. We're gonna do a driver's side drop. We can choose our gear ratio. I'm not 100%. I gotta look at the ticket on that before we can do anything there. We can decide what lockers we want in this. That's what I like about Fusion is they really allow you to make it your own. And so I'm pretty sure we're gonna run ARBs, but I need to double check on that. And then we get to pick our axle shafts, whether we wanna run regular style axle shafts with U-joints or RCVs. I need to find out that as well. We can choose our flanges, we can choose our kingpin setups, high steer arms, and brake and hub assembly as well. So really, like I said, you really get to customize it and make it exactly what you want. And if you don't see something on here that you like, you can always call and they can custom build you anything you want. So we'll get the ticket and figure out what all we're doing and get some axles ordered, and then we'll be waiting on axles for a while. So
How long do those take to show up?
roughly 12 weeks. That's why I need to get them ordered so that we're ready We're actually got one project ahead of him that we're going to get in next week. It's a yellow YJ out there. We're going to redo some of the suspension on it, and we have pretty much everything we need for that to get it knocked out while we finish waiting on some parts for a couple other projects we got. We got a lot going on in the fab shop. I made a list yesterday. I got the Guatemalan Fonzie. We got three super builds. The YJ, the Dakota, that International, and potentially a flatbed to build. So,
whoa. Flatbed what?
Like we're building a flatbed
for
a truck.
Okay, I thought you were just calling a vehicle a flatbed.
No,
Gotcha.
no.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like building a flatbed for a truck. So,
nice.
so yeah, we got a lot going on. We're honestly booked probably through February in the fab shop. So, lots to do. So, it's hot. Stay cool. That's all I got for you.
Birdman,
What up?
what's poppin'?
I'm installing a weather guard shelving and cabinet kit with a bulkhead.
Nice.
Basically for like your service vehicles, like this high-tech plumbing and heating. So it gives them a place to put all their equipment, supplies, and everything they need. Basic serviceman stuff. Yeah, looking forward to it. Ought to be pretty cool when we're done. Give them a nice place for storage instead of just dumping it in the back like they've been doing. You know, be organized.
Yeah. What up, dog? What you working on?
Working on replacing this engine again.
Again? So what happened to the one you put in it?
Everything on our part was okay, but something internally must have been like a casting too thin, too deep of a tap. It started leaking oil from the engine mounts. Send Jasper the pictures, and they're like, "We'll get you an engine as soon as we can."
Oh, nice.
So that's the good thing about Jasper. If you have an issue, they try to take care of you. So I didn't know engine mounts needed oil, but apparently
Self-lubricating.
new style motor mounts,
Yeah.
self-lubricating.
Oh, no, that's what I'm going to do. As soon as I get it in the air, I'll tear one side apart. I'll holler at you where you can get up there and you can get your fabricator skills. Eyeballs, yeah.
My calibrated elbow.
Yeah. That way I can do the coils and I can start in the rear while you're working on those.
So, Icon makes a lift kit for the Expeditions, but they don't make a lift kit to fit the new 2022s. But the 2021 is close enough that we're going to be able to modify some spacers to get the control arm to fit. That's really the only difference that we're having issues with is the control arm spacing. So we're going to put these in the lathe, machine them down to the appropriate width so that we have the right offset. So one will get machined down further than the other. That way that control arm's in the right offset. And then we'll put it in. And this guy will have a custom lift on his 2022 Ford Expedition. So that's what it's supposed to look like, but that's got the wrong offset. So we're gonna take two bigger ones and machine them appropriately to fit the way that they're supposed to. So, because that's what we do around here.
Ta-da!
Cool.
Okay, back to work.
Back to work.
That's the gas tank on the driver's side of the Paco. So that side is always going to be lower. So to adjust for that, a lot of the times the manufacturers will put a puck or adjust that coil over, down just a hair more to accommodate that lean. This one is set at a certain spec, so it's not accommodated for that lean. So we need to accommodate for it. So we're going to adjust it up. 2.
you do to this?
We had customer came in. He bought the truck like this and had a looks like a stage 3 Icon with triple bypass reservoirs, or coilovers in the front, triple bypass shocks in the rear. Words are hard. All 3 of the 4 were leaking, so we said, hey, you can send those off and get them rebuilt because they're really good equipment. But also his inner and outer tie rods were bad. Sway bar links had a lot of play in them. It had an add-a-leaf, so it was sitting really tall, real harsh ride. So we put a stage 1 set of coils on the front and shocks in the rear because they were the cheaper option because he's got the expensive ones, he just needs to get them rebuilt. So put the stage 1s on there so we can continue to drive with the truck, send those off, get those rebuilt, and then whenever they're back, we get those back on there. So we're trying to get the ride to be smoother.
Gotcha.
But I mean, we do have Icon wheels with KM3s, so they're going to ride a little rough because they're a mud terrain. But we want it to be soft. Ride like a Camry instead of a Jeep. Just kidding. It's going to ride like a Taco. It still leaves spring in the rear. So, but we wanted it to match. That's why we went ahead and adjusted the coilovers up just a little bit because we wanted the customer wants it level. We took an add-a-leaf out of the rear, lowered the coils in the front originally to a smaller set, and then we just kind of adjusted it accordingly. So give it over to Luda, and he'll get the alignment done and test drive it, and go from there.
You're Luda?
That's me.
Luda Chris, baby.
Because I'm Big Chris, and this is Little Chris, and the way Mike, you know how Mike is. He would get out of the shop and he'd go, Little Chris, and we'd be like, is that ludicrous? Is that what he's saying? So, good stuff.
Well, that's a start.
Now I need a Sharpie.
I walk up to record and you're done?
You'll get to that.
But just turn it on.
2022 Ford Expedition. Icon doesn't make a lift that fits specifically for it. So what we did was we bought a kit for a 2021 and got some extra spacers here that we can machine down to make fit in the pockets here. And so what I'm doing here, this is my real fancy jig to know what my widths are and depths and center of lines and all that good stuff. So basically what I'm doing is trimming these down so that this fits in the buckets on the Expedition, clears everything for travel, still has the caster that we're desiring out of it. We don't gain too much or lose too much out of it. So yeah. So now I'm going to measure this. And then I know I have to take that much off of it, which comes out to be roughly 1/4 of an inch. Bam! Yeehaw! It's really nice when the boss will come by your
Talk to me, Big Daddy. Who's popping?
Am I Big Daddy? Big Daddy. Hey, well, I don't know what that was about. So what we have on our hands is a YJ that somebody's got some 1 tons under. It needs some love. The suspension's not working real well. Geometry's not real great. As it sits, it's very tall. The ORIs are, I guess these are probably 12s on the front. They're old. As it sits, they had no nitrogen in them, and they were like, the Jeep sits like 4 inches taller than I would like it. So definitely needs some off-road addiction love. So we're going to basically rebuild the suspension. I'm gonna redo all the ORI mounts. We're gonna put new control arms under it. I'm just trying to come up with a game plan right now to make sure that we have parts coming and can stay focused on it so that we can get it done. This is Grant's project. You know, I'm not here to dog anybody, but it needs some love. We'll just go with that. I think the rear is probably like 10s.
We got the mad scientist replacing the piston rings he fried, ripping apart blocks. Go home, pizza boy. Something about family. I don't know. How'd it go?
We're pretty good.
Yeah.
Just trying to get it to burp the coolant. And it should be good to go test drive. And make sure nothing else is wrong.
Was this complete yesterday? Like,
Yep.
Did you drive it on your lift yesterday and then pull the motor out and put a new motor in?
Well, I drove it on there, what's the day? Thursday? Tuesday night.
Oh, Tuesday night. So
Like 4:30.
like 1 full day you've done an engine swap essentially? Yeah. This guy was leaking oil out of one of these holes, but on the other side. It's harder to see. But yeah. It's gonna blow!
A little Harbor Freight's done its job. Glittery like a vampire.
What are you doing?
Doing some cleanup after his big wheeling trip. Had a little bit of a fluid seepage that was collecting dirt, so just getting everything cleaned up and resealed.
Nice. Good talk. Dude, would you just look at this thing? We got 35s on the 2022 Expedition. We had to do a little trimming, okay? I mean, they're 35s. So what ended up happening was we took these steps, and you could pull this end cap off, and then there's like an aluminum, guts to the steps, a little chassis on the inside of the steps. So you cut the aluminum, and then you put the cap back on. You never know. You never know. Yeah, so Rob's little spacer trick on the front upper control arms worked. Mint. We got coilovers on the Expedition, baby, with 35-inch Nitto ridge grapplers. Fantastic.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Grant, what are you doing? Are you trying to plug a plasma cutter into the transmission?
Don't go there.
It don't go there. You can try. What are you doing?
Trying to find part number.
Oh, for the old one? Yeah. So we ordered a new torch head, and it's not the same. So now we got to figure out how to get the right one. So it's okay. Joey at over at Airgas is going to get us taken care of, aren't you, Joey? What are you doing on this thing over here? You got to come over
That
here.
audio might have popped a lot.
Why?
I had the gain turned way up.
Oh,
Getting ready to put our suspension underneath it. Gonna do a moto built back half kit for the YJ. This frame's a little not good anymore.
oh yeah, I see that. So what's wrong with the suspension?
Whenever he wheels it and he gets it fully flexed out, it feels like everything's binding up.
Bad geometry. So yeah, so we're gonna go through and make the geometry better so that we get the full use of the suspension out of it. Cool. Awesome. All right, well, we'll let you get to it. Oh yeah, y'all recognize this one from the last video, Brooks Jeep, she rolled it. So waiting on the body shop to, apparently this isn't a normal part you tear up on Jeeps, so we're trying to get this part so that we can fix that and have the proper structure back in it. So, but you'll see it back on the trail soon, for sure by September. So, because we got a trip coming up. Have you guys seen that thing? You seen that? That's pretty cool.
Just be like, Burger's finishing up.
Oh, so I'm not asking him anymore?
Yeah.
We've changed the
my fault.
plans.
We changed the plans.
We changed the plans. Okay. All right. Can I turn this back
Yeah,
on?
you
or
turn it
good?
back on.
Okay. Sorry, Burger. So, Burger is installing some shelving system in this van so that this company can put all their tools and gear and stuff and go do whatever they do. I think it's like a plumbing company. I think.
It says plumbing on the side, so we're gonna go.
Oh
with that.
yeah, okay, there we go. Indy's working on this brand new Bronco. Put a front bumper on it with a tow bar attachment, and now he's wiring in the lights so that when it's behind the RV, all the lights will work and turn signals and everything, so they can tow it to their destination and then go do whatever they do with it. So, pretty cool. Look, he's got an old man glasses on.
Nice glasses, bro.
Lane over here is working on a Ford F-150. He is currently taking off a very old and wore out FabTech suspension. Nothing wrong with FabTech, it's just old and wore out. Customer decided to replace it all with BDS, so he's going with a BDS suspension, get it riding like it's new again. You know, just like any other component, lift kits wear out over time, the components wear out over time, so it was definitely due for some love.
So what wore out on it? I guess like all the joints.
Yeah,
and
so
bushings
well, it actually had some bushings on the struts. So this is the factory strut with a bracket added to it, and these bushings are wore out. The factory upper control arm ball joints are all wore out, so the BDS will replace all that. Obviously, we get new struts out of it,
Okay.
and so it'll just make it ride a little fresher.
Nice.
Yeah. Huh? Now we got lots of joints. So many of you guys know Roxanne. We where you at? There you are. We did the 6.6 swap and tons. He went out and beat it up real good out in Moab, broke some parts. So we've got it all fixed up. New axle shaft U-joints in it, new bracketry on the rear control arms, fixed the starter issue that it was having, and man, he's ready to go beat on it again. So he's gonna beat on it the rest of the summer, and then it's gonna come back for some good stuff, if that's not good enough. Maybe, if you're lucky. Right now, I just want you to focus on ride height.
Is this not good?
I don't know, is it? Is that what you're happy with?
I think we still need to go up, honestly. That's probably why it was so high, because the frame is so close to...
You want to go up?
I
The frame is so close to like all the hydro.
Get a measurement and they're there. As long as you got at least 3 inches, and it's honestly, that's gonna tuck in behind there. I mean, you can honestly probably figure in coming in down to here. We're just trying to get a rough estimate. We'll get some measurements for that. Let me go finish doing this outro and then I'll come.
Or I measure it and add 4 inches.
Right. Make sure to like and subscribe to keep track of all the current content that we have going on. Mike came in and distracted me. All right, we're gonna try that again.
Yes.
You tell me when.
Now.
All right, guys. Is that too much energy? All right, guys. That's what we got going on in the shop this week. So make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when we post our latest content. And we'll see you next time.